Hello.
Hello.
I'm Crystal. This is my husband Eric, and we have a guest today.
Hello.
And we are from the Dog Psychology and Training Center. Today we're going to talk about essential oils.
Yes, we
I'm
are
gonna just
talking
kinda
about
pass it
essential oils. So this is Jessica Brush, and she's going to be talking to us primarily about these 3 oils, which she was kind of giving us a little spoiler info on. And she's going to kind of just go over how she's used those oils with her dogs and kind of her experience and her knowledge about those. And then we're going to do like a little Q&A, I think, Crystal and I and Jessica, because I'm sure I'm going to be thinking of some stuff while she's telling us about this. So, yeah, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post those, and we'll try and keep up, no promises. But yeah, we'll start off by just letting Jessica share a little bit about herself and take it away.
Hey, so thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm Jessica, and I am an artist like you posted, but I love to do essential oils. So I use doTERRA essential oils for my family, and I also use it for my pets. And one thing about essential oils, I don't know if you knew or not, but they can actually penetrate directly into the cell to really help our bodies to respond the correct way to the essential oils. So I used to own a pet resort, and with dogs boarding, you know, it can be really stressful. So I use the calming blend, and I would diffuse that. So this here is a calming blend if you want to smell it.
Yeah.
And it's got different blends in there, lavender. There you go.
Smells like there's a couple things going on in
Yes,
Yeah.
there are a couple things going on in there.
But it was not too much.
there. Yeah.
So I would do a diffuser here. Would fill it up with water, and then I would put 1 drop. So you got little marker of how much water you put in there, and then put 1 drop of the essential oil, and I would diffuse that at the pet resort. And allow
And 1 drop would last how long?
1 drop for 8 hours. This diffuser is up to 4 hours. So some diffusers can do 8 hours. And then, so the dogs were less stressful. I had 2 stories to share.
Yeah.
One dog.
I'm interested in
So
this.
around, Christmas break, there's a 2-week period where dogs are bored for a flat rate. And one dog, she would kind of get bored in the middle of her stay, and she'd kind of redecorate her suite and tear it up. So I would always have to bring her up into the office because, I wanted her to have an enjoyable stay. So kind of gave her that one-on-one personal attention time. Well, the following year, that's when I started using the essential oils, and I started diffusing with her there. And she did not need to do that. She did not redecorate her suite. She was comfortable and content throughout the whole time frame. I didn't have to bring her up to the office to settle her down. She was content in her suite. And then there was another guest too that stayed for the.
Now, did you notice that the first time you used it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
And
1 drop of this stuff?
Yeah. So
All right.
she definitely calmed her down. And there was another guest too that was there, and he would always howl and bark and kind of chew on his bedding about midway stay, because 2 weeks is a long time to board your pet. So again, when I was diffusing this, no chewing on the blanket, he wasn't howling like crazy, like I had to get out all the time. So personal experiences, I have seen where it works in the diffusing, and it just directly goes into the triggers of the brain, and the dog, relaxes and calms down. And it's not too strong for the dogs. It's not to where you need to dilute the oil or anything in the diffuser. It's got the water there.
These are the same oils that we would use, right?
Yeah,
exact same stuff?
Yep, so we can use the essential oils as well for ourselves. So if you're nervous, you need to calm down. You go to the doctors or something, or the dentist, you don't want to go there, or don't get too stressed. Just put 1 drop on your palms, rub it together. You can burn it on the bottom of your feet or on the back of your neck, or put on your wrist, and just smell away.
Yeah, and I think what's so awesome about that is, like, with humans, sometimes they say, like, well, if you take a certain vitamin and you feel better, it's because it was like a placebo effect. But with dogs, like, they don't know you were doing this. Like, they started just reacting to this, not because they thought you were trying to help them. Right. And I think that's awesome.
And it does have an odor to it. So if you do have it on your hands, and if you're putting it on your hands, or let's say your dog's going to the veterinarian and you want to go ahead and just rub it, maybe they have a collar you want to rub the oil on.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So as soon as you open up that essential oil, they will smell that. Now, it may be strong for them. They may not like the smell. Some dogs do kind of like, oh, I don't want that on me. But it doesn't hurt the dog or anything. It just might be a really strong smell, because of course they can smell so much better than we can. So. Another testimony that I would love to share is with my lab. He was about 10 years old, and he just started limping on his front leg, and I could tell that he wasn't putting any weight on it, and it was swollen. It is always great to go to the veterinarian, and I used to work for a veterinarian, so this is not replacing any vet care, But I knew that, you know, if they probably do an anti-inflammatory or injection, what can I do at home to see if it'll help them? So that's what those are the steps that I chose to take. And peppermint is an awesome anti-inflammatory. I love
that.
peppermint.
Yeah.
Sorry guys that you can't smell it.
I know. What was it? Jeff Corman on Animal Planet always used to joke about smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, that's funny.
So that smells like Christmas.
So
That's festive.
It smells really good.
and
Candy
I'm not an expert to know everything with the pets, so you got to be very careful of what oils you're using for your pets. So I go to reference site thedogoiler.com.
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 We'll have to link to that.
Yes.
So I go there and I look to see what is the symptom that my dog is having and what essential oil would be good for that. So I found out for inflammation, peppermint and frankincense are great
Okay.
essential oils.
Cool.
So I have frankincense here. I'm really low on it because I love using this, but you can smell it.
Yeah.
So with the inflammation on his leg, I did 1 drop of peppermint, 1 drop of frankincense, and then I did about 4 or 5 fractionated coconut oil. So it's coconut oil in a liquid form,
Okay.
so it stays liquid.
So what's fractionated?
Fractionated just means that it's going to stay in the
Okay.
liquid
Like
form.
rub this?
Okay.
That's just coconut
so
oil.
when you say 4 to 5 fractionated drops, you just
Yep.
mean 4 to 5 drops.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
'Cause it's already
so
fractionated.
as you can tell, it took a while to sink into your skin. It's
Yeah.
still on there.
Yeah.
Where when you do a drop of that essential oil, because earlier before we aired,
Greaser.
Crystal had some calming blend on her.
Yes.
So it goes in quickly when you just use the oil.
Uh-huh.
Soaks quickly into your
Right.
skin. So adding the
Okay. So it
fractionated
makes
coconut oil, it'll
stay
sit on the
longer.
skin a little bit longer.
Okay.
Kind of go in there. So that's what I used on his leg. Was the
So you
peppermint.
put the
Uh-huh.
oil on, you put the coconut stuff first?
It doesn't
Or
really matter.
Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
order?
So yeah, just do one. Well, I guess I would do the fractionated coconut oil first because I don't want it to soak into my hand.
And then
I
you
want to
put
put
it-
it on him. So
Okay.
fractionated coconut oil, 1 drop peppermint, 1 drop frankincense. I rubbed it together and I put it directly on his leg.
Okay.
And I did that twice a day. And for the 3rd day, he started walking on his leg because at first he was doing no weight.
Uh-huh.
So he started walking on his leg the 3rd day. The 5th day, he was completely putting weight on his
Wow.
leg. So it saved me a vet bill. But if it didn't get better or
Right.
if it was a medical concern, I would definitely bring him to the vet.
Right.
So I
This-
just helped myself.
This is just sounding like magic to me. So you just
Not magic.
So you're putting this stuff. I mean, I'm not putting words into your mouth. I'm just saying. So you're just you put this combo that you just explained to us on your hands, rubbed your dog's leg.
And I also rubbed it along his spine, the nervous system and everything. So
Okay.
it just kind of got into where it needed to.
And
So
his body,
one
it knows
question,
where to go.
like obviously with humans, we don't. I mean, we have some fur, but we don't have as much as a dog, so it goes directly into our skin. So how
Right.
do you make sure it goes onto their skin, or does it not matter?
So if I'm applying it onto my dog and if I need to dilute it, I'll dilute it first on my
Uh-huh.
hand with that coconut oil.
Yeah.
By the time I'm putting those drops on there, the coconut oil is kind of keeping it, and I'm quickly rubbing it and quickly
Uh-huh.
getting it
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So it's getting onto his skin.
So
But
you're kind of like going against the grain of his hair to kind of get it down to the skin.
oh yeah, you're
or
talking about like a really fluffy
like
dog
really
or something.
thick dogs. Yeah, like Morgan, she doesn't look like it, but she's really thick hair.
Right. Yeah. So yes, you do want to get it onto
Okay.
the skin contact.
Okay.
So kind of rake your hair and through the husky's coat or whatever.
Right. My next
Gotcha.
question would be, like you mentioned, our feet absorb it better. What about their feet?
Yes.
Ooh,
So the
good.
calming blend. Yep. You can go ahead and put that on your hand, then
Uh-huh.
grab their paws, and that's what I did at the pet resort too for some guests that
Get
were.
in between your toes.
Yep, just kind of get on their pads of their feet, and
Uh-huh.
I would kind of put my hand up to their muzzle, their nose, let them smell it some because
Yeah.
it's still on my hands.
Right.
And rub it on their collar or on
Yeah,
their
Mo-
bed.
Morgan's laying down here going,
Yeah.
I know. She's,
Yeah,
like,
she's
"Oh,
really
over
calm.
there."
I don't know if she
Oh.
normally is
Alright.
calm.
So would you suggest before they put any oils on their dogs that they should always kind of maybe put it on their hands or another object first to let their dog smell it to make sure they don't hate the smell or turn away from it?
Well, they may still turn away from the smell.
Okay.
Because the smell's so powerful for them. Just 1 drop is all that you need
Uh-huh.
to use on your pet. So before you use essential oils, one, you want to make sure it's a pure certified therapeutic grade. And
Do you
just
like what
make
we have,
hi, you
Morgan?
smell? Hi, Morgan. And you want to make sure that it's not just, off the shelf at any old store.
Right.
So you want to make sure that it's a grade that's going to be healthy for your dog to use. And so the reason why I say that is because there's no regulations.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to list, some companies aren't going to list if there's pesticides used or,
Okay.
or how is it harvested.
Uh-huh.
And so there are a few well brands out
Mm-hmm.
there that you can go ahead and trust to use on your pets. And just to keep in mind that some essential oils aren't safe for dogs. So that's why I always go to thedogoiler.com to figure out what oils aren't good for dogs.
Yep. And we will link to that.
Even when I'm diffusing for my own benefits, so I know.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
important.
that's a good thing to consider.
Yep. And
Yeah.
some cats too can't be around the essential oils, so they can use essential oils on cats, but maybe an oil you can use on a dog you won't use on a cat. So.
Right.
Okay.
So
Gotta
for
kind of do your
diffusing-
own self-research also.
Yeah.
But I'm available for questions, and then if I don't know the answer, I just do self-research.
Yeah.
So for diffusing, if you've got multiple different species in the house,
Right.
you would have to
Yeah, just make
definitely consider
Yeah,
that.
I have heard that Maluka, the tea tree oil,
Uh-huh.
that's not good for dogs. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
I don't just diffuse that in the house. But if I know, let's say it's antifungal, antibacterial, if I'm fighting a cold, I will just kick my animals out of my bedroom and maybe just diffuse it out of my bedroom. So,
Okay.
something like
And
that.
you don't, and that wouldn't affect them.
Right, because if they would not be in my bedroom.
Gotcha,
correct,
gotcha.
yeah.
That's not gonna. I'm like
It's not gonna
the
seep
little
through
bit
the-
that seeps through the cracks.
Nah.
Of the, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Cool.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because we would probably like banish it from the house, like
Right.
put it in a Ziploc bag and escort it off of the premises.
Yeah,
We
but
get a
you-
little extreme when it comes
Essential
to
oils
pets.
are great to use for the family, for the pets, insect repellent, stuff like that. You can use a combination blend or some essential oils already sell a blend that is good for that. So
Tell me this: is there a blend or a type of oil that would replace like flea and tick?
So it could, but with essential oils, you have to remember that you use less of the oil, but you have to apply more frequently. So how convenient
wouldn't
is it
be-
to just do once a month application?
Right.
So yes, you could do a essential oil preventative or helpful with your fleas and ticks and stuff.
But you might be doing it, you know.
Every
So how
time they go
often-
outside, you're probably going to need to apply it.
Right.
So multiple times a day wouldn't last like a day.
No.
What if you did it on their collar? Would it last longer then, since it wouldn't maybe come off of their skin as easily?
Right, so with the collar, you're kind of doing the aroma benefits. So again, that smell will eventually not be around anymore.
Right,
So.
right.
But they say with essential oils that if, for yourself personally, if you're applying it and let's say if I'm sneezing a lot due to my environmental issues, if I apply my lemon, lavender, peppermint that I use for that, and if I start sneezing again, like 30 minutes, an hour, I can apply that again. So they say it's safe to apply every 20 minutes.
Okay.
If you need to. Now with pets, I'm not too sure the frequency. I know with people it's 20 minutes. So. But yeah, it's not going to last like 6 hours or 8 hours or 24
Okay.
hours.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yep.
So that would not be a convenient.
Right. It's not convenient, but it is
For
more
that
healthy
purpose.
alternative.
Yeah.
All natural approach.
So what about like if we have, so we spend a lot of time out by the pool or in the patio, is there a blend that we could diffuse that would maybe keep some fleas and ticks away?
Yes,
But not
so,
necessarily have to be on the dog so it lasts longer.
Yeah, so doTERRA actually does have an insect repellent blend.
Okay.
And that's what it's called, a repellent blend.
Uh-huh.
Lemongrass I know is in there. There's some other oils off the top of my head. I don't know what's all in that blend. But yeah, so you could diffuse that. You could actually spray that on your dog and rub it on, like especially if you have a short dog, rub it on the belly and stuff. But I would just apply it every time they go outside.
Yeah.
And depending on how bad your mosquitoes are too, you might need to apply a lot. I know that when I've used it before, if I have really bad mosquitoes, I gotta like gouge myself on it. Not gouge, that might not be the right word. But
Drench?
Gouge?
Yes, drench.
He always
Yes.
has the right words.
I never have the right words.
Me either.
But so even though it says I've been educated that you apply less but more frequently, I feel like with the insectant repellent I have to apply more
Yeah.
and all the time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just I don't know why. I don't know if mosquitoes are like that doesn't bother me or
Right, and I wonder too, like if there's different, because there are different species of mosquitoes too,
Right.
and if different species would maybe be more repelled by one smell than another
Right.
too.
I
that
know
would
I know
definitely-
peppermint, lavender, lemongrass. Those are all good to have
Good.
insect repellents too if you don't have that blend. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I have a question.
What's that?
So I am not very educated on the oils at all. This may be silly to some of you and Jessica, but can you ingest the
I
oils?
was just thinking about that. You can. So now some companies will say that they don't recommend ingesting essential oils just because they might not have done enough studies out there to where what's it going to do to our insides and everything. I trust doTERRA essential oils to take internally. I do take them internally. And you can even get veggie capsules. And let's say your dog has got really upset stomach. Actually, one of my friends that introduced me to the oils had a testimony about this. Diarrhea, everything. They did some digestin. It's a blend, the digestive blend in the capsules and gave it to the dog. And I'm not too sure of how many days of using that, but the dog recovered and well and fine. And so it
That's awesome.
does help. I don't have a personal testimony of using it on a pet. I do it on myself. Stomach issues, rub it on my belly. I'm good to go.
Cool. Yeah, because every once in a while we get dogs in here that they might have some
Right.
stomach issues, and that can
It really can help
interrupt
them.
the
Yeah.
relationship building.
Well, and just training. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't like to work dogs when they're not
Right.
feeding. It's
Right.
not fair. It's kind of like making a kid go to school when they're lethargic and don't want to
Right.
keep awake. So
It would be nice to have
And
something.
to
it's
help
not
them
going to
recover
have any
quicker.
negative side effects to the pet.
Yeah.
Where a medication, you never know.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So,
You're sometimes treating one problem for another
Right.
with some of those medications.
yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So.
And you could even just rub that blend directly on their belly too, if you don't want to give it to them internally. Just rubbing it directly on their belly will help too.
That still just trips me out.
I know.
I'm gonna look for
And that's where you also
questions.
be careful. You know, some essential oils do say, like for example, doTERRA, they'll have supplement facts, so
Uh-huh.
that way you know that it's safe to digest.
Oh,
There's
okay.
some essential oils that I probably have over there that aren't safe to digest. You're not going to see the supplement facts.
Okay.
That's
So
good
that.
to know.
Supplement facts.
Yeah. So it looks just like a nutritional facts label.
Very close
Can you
to
guys see
the
that?
camera up there. There you go.
Nutritional facts label that you'd find on your food. So if it does not have that,
Do
don't
not
put
take
it in your
internally.
mouth.
Correct.
Gotcha. That's good note.
And it's very potent. You don't need more than one drop. Like even
Right.
peppermint, if you want to freshen up your breath, you can just one drop. If you do 2 you're really gonna feel that. You're not gonna
You're like,
die. It's just like, wow, it's really strong.
Strong.
Do you have any questions coming in?
I'm looking. We have, let's see. So we do have one question. Liz, hi Liz,
Hi, Liz.
is asking if it would help her old dog that is currently limping. And then what do you recommend for a grumpy dog or a shy dog? So 3 questions.
Yeah, so the limping, I would recommend the peppermint and frankincense
Okay.
with the fractionated coconut oil.
Uh-huh.
You can all get that through doTERRA Essential Oils.
Uh-huh.
I am a wellness advocate. You can order directly from me.
Yes,
The-
and we will post a link for Jessica in the comments. So if you guys do have questions, you can contact her directly, or if you are looking for specific essential oils, she can hook you up.
Yeah. So you can also just go to my website, which is mydoterra.com/Jessica Brush,
Uh-huh.
and you can shop and look at the oils. You can purchase there directly online, or you can actually sign up to be a wellness advocate yourself. You get wholesale pricing.
Oh,
So you don't have to sell it. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to be a wellness advocate. But yeah, so the peppermint and the frankincense and fractionated coconut oil, you want to go to the dogoiler.com, because in there you're going to find out how much does your dog weigh, how many drops of each should I use,
Yeah, that's
how
a
much
good
should I
point.
dilute it. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
her personally, I mean, I can't answer it fully because I don't know all that information.
Right.
So go to the dogoiler.com.
For the exact ratio.
Yes.
But the 2 that she should use is frankincense and
Peppermint.
And the
Yeah, fractionated coconut oil.
fractionated.
And then the grumpy
And
dog.
well, the
and
difference
dog-
too between fractionated coconut oil, just regular coconut oil. So coconut oil will harden on
Right.
the counter.
Yeah.
Fractionated stays in liquid form, so it's really easy to blend
Apply.
and
Okay.
apply. So yeah,
Nice.
for the grumpy dog, I would suggest the calming blend.
Uh-huh.
Lavender is another one that's really
Mhm.
good. So just kind of stress them out. I don't know, what are they grumpy about? I don't know
Right.
if they're stressed or. So that would be something that I would start with if
Uh-huh.
I had a grumpy dog.
Okay. And then the same probably for the anxiety.
Yes.
Right. If there's an anxious dog.
Yep. Definitely
Something
the
that would
calming
calm
blend.
them down.
Yep. And
Yeah.
if your dog wears a bandana, you can just put a drop on that bandana and just tie it around their neck. If they're anxious in the car, you can put a drop like on a cotton ball and put it in the front of the car or by your vent, so that way you're blowing out the AC. They're
that's a good
smelling it. They're
idea.
going to smell it, so it's going to go and
Uh-huh.
trigger where it needs to in the body and everything. If they
Yeah.
have a bed on their in the back of the car, you can put a drop on the bed. You can put it in a glass spray water bottle,
Uh-huh.
and you can go ahead and spray it on the bed that
Uh-huh.
way too. I say glass, not plastic, because the essential
Yes.
oils, they can strip the chemicals that are made up of the plastic. So
Okay.
Stick with glass.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there was one question that we asked before we went live that I'm going to ask again because I think some of you may be thinking about this. So I asked Jessica, what's the difference between this fancy diffuser and like a what's it called now?
humidifier.
Humidifier. A humidifier, because we have I'm like, we got a humidifier at home. It
Sprays water
it
out.
puts moisture in the air. Why can't we use that? So tell me what you told me.
Yes. So it's kind of the same thing I just said. The essential oils are very pure. They can strip the chemicals. So if that humidifier has got the chemicals in there and stuff, it'll strip that. So you could be breathing in those chemicals.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to break your machine too. You know, some people say that they have used it. So if you want to risk it, go for it. But I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
I've got a rainbow vacuum cleaner. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They got the plastic area where you keep the water on, and then you put your
Okay.
vacuum cleaner. So some people ask, can I put the drops directly in that? I would not. You don't want to tear up your machine. But I put a drop on the cotton ball, and then I suck up the cotton ball with the vacuum cleaner, and just I have it that way. I feel safer that way than putting the drop
directly
in there.
on it.
Yeah,
Right.
then it's not being
Seeped into
diluted
the
into the
Right.
plastics.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then one thing you want to also make sure with your diffuser, every diffuser tells you how it operates, so you don't want to heat diffuser because the heat will distort the properties, the chemicals or whatever of the
That's good to
essential
know.
oil.
Very good
So,
to know. Yep.
not chemicals, but yeah,
The oils.
Yeah.
So let's see. We do have a couple other questions. Do they help with dementia?
So they can, yes. I do not know that answer without doing the research myself because I just haven't had a pet that I needed to use it. But again, I would go to the dogoiler.com. There is an abundance of information there. When I first went to her website, it took me a while to understand and navigate where do I go for everything. So again, if anyone has any questions, they want a final answer, I can help navigate and get that answer for them.
Okay,
So
good.
I would say, I know for seizures, I believe frankincense is the one to go to. And frankincense is always the go-to oil. If you don't know what oil to use, you use frankincense.
Can't go wrong with frankincense.
Can't go wrong with frankincense.
Well, it was brought to Jesus.
That's
let me
right.
just say.
That's right.
So it's got to be
That's
good.
true.
It is an important gift, and so it definitely helps you. And also with frankincense, if you're pairing it with another essential oil, for example that peppermint, it actually really works well with the other oils to make the benefits more better for
Yeah,
us.
kind of like iron and orange juice. They
Yep.
kind of go hand in hand for it to actually work.
There you go.
Like pepper and turmeric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, okay.
Whatever you guys say. All right, let's see if there's any new questions. Let me refresh.
While you're
these.
looking,
Yes, yes.
So this, do you have any experience using like the calming oil with like an aggressive dog? That may be a little.
So I've been very fortunate to when I did use the essential oils at the pet resort, we didn't have a lot of those aggressive dogs. So, or if we did, we had a relationship where they were fine with me.
Yeah.
But I can think of one that when she did not know me, she loved my manager and me. She would always growl at me and bark at me. I'm like, well, I don't want to deal with you if you're going to be like this. She had a relationship with my manager. Let my manager take care of her. Well, one day my manager wasn't there, so I had to be there. But yes, so diffusing did help her, and we got to be friends. And she's kind of that dog where just one person. So, but yes.
Well, that's good to know because I think some of the challenge with working through those aggressive behaviors is like for us, like we want to build a relationship with the dog before we really start addressing those problems. So if we can get them to just calm out for a day or two, we can build a relationship. Then, like you said, she was fine with the manager because she knew the manager, but not so much with you. So we could kind of, I think that could help us like really address some of those things.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm actually going to leave a diffuser with you. Not to keep, but to borrow for an extended period of time.
So you guys have this. We will make sure we get it back.
And I'm giving you the rest of my Serenity. I don't know exactly.
Serenity now!
The calming blend. I'm not too sure how many drops are left in here, but that's going to last
like
for
quite a few.
Quite some while. And you just won't need one drop. And an estimate of how many drops are in here, I believe, is 250. It's a 15 milliliter bottle.
Nice.
I can't seem to find it right now, but it does say it on there somewhere.
Okay.
So do all these different types of oils cost about the same?
No, they all cost
Totally
differently.
different.
Frankincense is your most expensive.
Well,
Actually,
it was
there's
given to
more.
Jesus,
There's
so
more
think of
oils that are more
loyalty.
expensive than that. But out of the ones that I love to use, and that is definitely recommended for dogs, frankincense is a bit more expensive. That's why I recommend being a wellness advocate. You get it at wholesale pricing.
Yes.
And doTERRA has an awesome program too, where if you do order loyalty each month, you get points from them to where you can get free products. So I get my frankincense for free.
All right.
Why not? Instead of spending $90 on it. So
Yeah.
So they can cost different variety charges there.
All right.
Well, that's all the questions we had. It was kind of a question. What's the best way to administer them? We talked about it briefly. Do you have, or we talked about options. Do you have like one go-to that you generally do over the others, or does it depend on what you're trying to help with?
I would say it would depend on what you're trying to help with.
Okay.
But aromatically is awesome benefits. So if you don't know where to start there.
Okay.
Either have a diffuser diffused in there, or just put a drop on your palm, rub your palm together, just kind of get near your dog's muzzle and just kind of let them smell it in, or put on their collar. So.
And just like a couple seconds of this, and
they're fine.
Like,
well,
Or
it
it's,
depends
like,
on
stay
what we're trying to accomplish. So.
Okay.
But if
that's fast.
I would rub it on their collar or their bandana, put it around their neck if it's something, if you're looking for calming or something. But yeah, if you're wanting to, calm down their stomach, just rub it directly on their stomach. And again, I haven't had a personal experience with that, so I don't know how long it takes.
Right.
But
especially if your dog has a very hairy
they
stomach.
can work quickly, the essential oils.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So the next question, and this just popped into my head of possibly a question someone might have or might try to do, thinking, I want my dog to really smell it. What if I put it directly on his nose?
Yeah, so I wouldn't put it directly onto their nose. I would just pretend your dog.
It's
kind of sniff it up there.
Uh-huh.
Put the nose there.
And if you are going to apply, you mentioned the neck, so you wouldn't do like the muzzle area or anything like that.
So
You
if
would
I'm
probably do
if I'm
more neck.
applying on a pet, I'm gonna apply on like where is their body needing it? Is it the nervous system? Am I gonna apply it on the spine? Again, I always get that information through the dogoiler.com of where to apply it, how to apply it. If I'm wanting to do the calming blend, the pads of the feet, I'll wipe it on the pads of the feet, maybe the backs of their ears, not the inner part of the ear.
Okay.
And just kind of around their neck area for the calming blend. So you like at home just trying to put it all over me?
I know, I do the same thing. I have to act it out. So another, I know we're sticking a lot about these questions, but they're just popping into my head.
That's good.
So when you're putting it on a dog, do you have to be, I know that they can be ingested, but is there like any precautions about like putting it in like lickable areas for dogs?
Yeah, I'm thinking too, like sometimes they lick it off from my hand because they like it so much. So as long as it's a oil that they can digest.
And it's diluted, I would assume.
It depends on the weight of the dog.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm okay with my, if my dog wants to lick it. So I do have my dog now that's got some skin issues. So there's a blend that I use. I'm guilty, I don't do it as much as I should. But as soon as I put it on there, it's got a lot of the coconut oil. It's a slab that I made, and he just licks it right off. I'm like, Axel, stop, don't do that. So I try to prevent him from not licking it, but I'm not worried that's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
I mean, of course,
nice
I want
to
it on
have
his
that.
skin, though.
Right.
It's nice to have that peace of mind. You don't have to worry about, oh man, he's gonna get all sick.
Like
from
I have to put it in the center of the back, like
Right.
the flea and tick medicine, so they can't reach it.
Right. Yeah, so that's again just making sure it's an oil that can be digested. What I'm using on his skin is lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and those are all oils that can be digested. So if it's an oil that can't be digested, then
you probably wouldn't put it
give
on
him him a treat or something that'll occupy the time, like a frozen bone or something, or even the e-collar if you have to put that on him. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions that have popped into my head.
Yeah.
If you guys have any other questions, definitely post them, and we will either have her answer them or we'll get with her.
Yeah, we'll relay it to Jessica.
And yeah.
Feel free to follow my Facebook page. It's an art page. It's JL Brush Art, but you can message me saying, hey, I want more information about the oils. I've got an oil group that I have on Facebook too. So
awesome.
Cool.
And we'll post all of that in the comments. So if you guys do have questions, Jessica's contact information will be right there for you. And thanks so much for coming
Thanks
today.
for having
We really
me.
enjoyed
Yeah,
having
it was
you
fun,
share
it
was
all
fun.
of this with our audience because we want to know and we get asked these questions, but we're like,
And I am
don't know.
psyched out about trying this Serenity.
That is so exciting.
I'm excited about that.
you can even put that on your kids before they go to bed. Calm them down. You can diffuse it in their bedroom. That's what I do with my children.
I just had some like naughty mom thoughts. I'm like, I'm just gonna put it on them 24/7.
Hey kids, come here. You said we could put it in a spritzer, right?
So I don't know if you guys are Seinfeld fans, but me and Eric are, and we often my go-to when my kids are killing me, and I'm just like, "Ugh," is when George Costanza, his dad, will get like really upset. I'm like, Serenity now. So now I can actually like say that and give them
apply it.
Serenity.
And then diffuse it
And then
immediately.
diffuse it.